Hello, everyone. Today is the first day of August. This is The Empress Speaks, and I am back to talk with you about the dark night of the soul. Many of you, and I'm very thankful for you, my members, my returning subscribers, new members, welcome to the channel. I read all of the comments. Many of you shared with me your experience with being in, hold on a minute, being in separation from your twin flame, what you're going and growing through, and it hurts. Some of you have even said, or maybe you believe, and I'm not trying to dissuade you from what you believe. Some of you feel like a twin flame wouldn't hurt you. All of your comments are welcome here, first and foremost. But what I want to tell you is that oftentimes with a twin flame, when you actually meet or encounter each other, you're rarely on the same level. One of you has ascended a little bit more or is transformed a bit more, and the other has to move in that direction. Sometimes your twin flame could be with someone else altogether, a whole new family, karmic family, or whatever you want to call it. And this leaves you feeling totally empty and depleted because you have this strong connection that transcends this third dimension. And for those of you who know, you know, and I can go on and just make this video be about the connection between a twin flame or between twin flames. You only have one. You only have one. And but back to the beginning, I wanted to thank all of you who shared your experience, because you really had to bare your soul, and you did it in what you perceive to be a safe place. And I hope that it is always a safe place. I pray over my readings, and I pray over my subscribers and those who come to view these videos, because I don't want anyone to belittle your experience or not understand it. Because for those of us who know, you know, I'm a twin flame, I'm in separation. The pain is unbearable at times, and there are things that you can do, but no one can tell you how to heal from your dark night of the soul, or your separation, or your crisis of faith, which is another synonym for dark night of the soul. No one can tell you how to heal. We can give you advice. It's like no one can tell you how to grieve. You grieve based on what you feel is right, and sometimes you don't always know what that is. But we're going to explore what that means, the dark night of the soul, and how it differs from just a psychological depression. Okay, and I took some notes here because I didn't want to miss anything that I was talking to you about. Oftentimes when you are in a twin flame separation, that's what it feels like, because you know you're meant to be with that person. Being in separation from them physically or even mentally doesn't change how you feel. You can go to another country, they can go to another country. They can be in a relationship, they can be without or out of a relationship. But if you are in separation, that longingness, that state of mind that your mind and spirit is in together from being separated is very dark. It's known as a crisis of faith, and it's extremely difficult and painful, and it can endure for a long time. Some people may be in separation with their twin flame for months to years to decades. And I'm going to try to bring some individuals on to talk about their testimony and their journey. I'm going to share mine, more of it as it unfolds, and as I grow very comfortable. And it might be something we do with a special group where we talk about our healing journey and we try some techniques for that. I don't like to prescribe a remedy for how to heal. I can give advice But my manner of healing may not be the same as yours. And what touches my soul and heals my soul might not be the same thing that will touch and heal your soul. So, we do understand with the dark night of the soul, it is significant. I'm sorry, let me get a sip of coffee. It's significant in a shift in perspective from your ego to your soul. The ego will experience a death. The process of the dark night of the soul is for you to allow something to die about you regarding your ego to transform into ascend. Okay? And it's a metamorphosis, and oftentimes it's a difficult transition to endure. It feels like a shift. You don't want to do the things that you customarily do. For me, I went into a very serious hermit mode where I was drawn to my sons. They helped save me and walk me through it, unbeknownst to them. I drew closer to family, more to spirit, more to intuition, spiritual guidance. That's what pulled me out of it. And am I still healing? Yes. Does it feel physically draining? Yes. Are some days better than others? Yes. But it's very different from just and I don't want to say typical depression, because depression is not typical. I don't want to belittle that, but it's very different from mental and psychological depression. Because once you heal from a mental or psychological depression, you're in a healthier frame of mind. When you go through a dark night of the soul, which is a spiritual depression, it's very different. It's very prolonged, and it has a different effect on you because of the egoic sense of self that has to die, if that makes any sense. So we'll explore that much more. But with this, the symptoms are similar, in which you feel like, not yourself, not doing the same things that you were usually happy about doing. You feel life has no purpose in some cases. You're lonely, you're empty. There's a lot of meaningless things that are going on inside of you. Past memories of childhood may resurface, just like in psychological depression. It's meant for you to deal with that dark side. Deal with your emotions. Deal with the emotions you feel for others and the emotions that you feel for yourself. Deal with repressed emotions. It is going to result in a total identity shift, while, depression doesn't usually. Okay. Someone going through the dark night of the soul doesn't completely identify with their ego anymore once they come out of it. I'm experiencing that. And what's really important is that when you go through this ego death, you know that you are not your thoughts. You know that you are not your thoughts. You are much more than that. You also are able to intuitively discern when someone is in your energy, manipulating your thoughts, because sometimes that can happen as you're rediscovering your purpose in life or focusing on your purpose in life. Some of us are running from our true purpose in life. And so when we focus on what we're purposed to be here for, we take on a different identity. You become a new person. Not understanding why my mic is not working, but hopefully you guys can hear me. You become a new person, and this is a transformation and a spiritual awakening. Your old personality dissolves, and something new comes out, a different person, a stronger person, a more balanced person, a more spiritually evolved person. Just like with the caterpillar and the butterfly, that type of metamorphosis. You are still, in a lot of ways, intrinsically who you are, but spiritually and metaphysically, you are stronger, you are different, you're more evolved, and there's an ascension process that takes place. Okay. Things you can do during this dark night of the soul that generally or can occur for different reasons, but I'm talking specifically the dark night of the soul that occurs when you are in twin flame separation. Okay, and the first thing you want to do is embrace it instead of resisting it. There's no easy way around it. My dad used to say, and he's transitioned on, he used to say, when you're going through hell, don't take the shortcut. The best way to go through hell is to go through it. You know, don't stop and smell the roses, and don't take detours along the way. Just go through it, right? Know that this is a change, and so you can't do anything to stop unconditional love from flowing. Being in separation means that you and your twin flame can psychically send energies of love, sexual energies to each other, psychological energies, warm energies. You can send things to one another metaphysically and psychically. So this is why the feeling is always so intense. This is why if you even, if you can be out of separation with them for 3 months, but the minute you think of them or happen to hear a song about them or see their picture, it's a flood of emotions coming back, even though they might not be healthy for you. It might not be healthy for you to engage in a relationship with them or to be back in union with them at this time, but there's a flood of emotion. You may have walked on, moved on, but the emotions are there in terms of they become that litmus test for you, for the ultimate love. That purest, unadulterated love that you never experienced before. Okay, they become that litmus test of how a man or woman should make you feel. Okay, so anyway, that's one thing you want to be mindful of is don't resist it, embrace it, know that you're going to come out better. And you have to keep telling yourself that. I keep telling myself that. I've had some sleepless nights. You can see under my eyes here, just thinking, because you're subconscious and in the 5th dimension, you're communicating with your soulmate. And those communications can be very poignant. They can be very emotional. They can be very stressful, even if you don't remember all of it. You'll see the signs of that communication, especially if it was heartfelt, the next day. You'll feel the heaviness of that emotion and the panic of your twin flame because you're able to sense what they are feeling. Okay? Allow the intense emotions to surface. Let them come. You're going to feel shame. You're going to feel powerlessness. You're going to feel worthlessness, abandonment, grief, blame, resentment. All of that stuff is going to resurface. And some of my notes says you might experience blame and resentment for your circumstances. And I'll share with you why I'm mentioning this because it hits home personally. Dark nights are often triggered by a change of external events such as a loss of a loved one, a physical accident, a sudden illness, a loss of a job or relationship. And in my case, it was job loss and relationship altogether because I work with and or for my twin. So, and our ego wants to avoid that pain, and we try to find relief by blaming others. But because I am ascended, I knew, intuitively and spiritually, that's not what I needed to do. And I didn't blame myself. I just wanted to not feel. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to not feel. For those of you who've been here with me since our first 10, 15, 30 subscribers, you know that I did mention to you that I am an empath. Not only am I emotionally picking up on my journey, but I'm able to pick up on yours as well as our channel grows. Intuitively, if there are a lot of you who are going through the dark night of the soul, I'm able to pick up on that. So anyway, forgive me for being super, super emotional, but this is an emotional topic. So, make sure that you embrace what you're going through, and your emotions, let them flow. You cannot suppress them. Let the tears fall. Try not to judge your emotions or yourself for having emotions. Definitely try not to shift blame on others for what's happening. It may feel that everything is coming at you all at once, and it's crashing down. It's a heavy burden, but it's not happening to you so much as it is happening for you, okay? Practice solitude. That hermit mode, you are going to be thrust into that, whether you want to be or not. It's not going to feel right for you to be around everyone. During depression, therapeutically, you may hear practitioners, therapists say that don't be alone. Get out amongst others and have more social exercises and things of that nature. But when you're going through a dark night of the soul, oftentimes you want to be alone. You lose interest in interacting with others, or you have a specific group that you prefer to interact with. For me, it was my animals, nature, and my sons. They were just, very instrumental for me. That's where I found my solitude and solace, and just, I don't know, I just felt complete with my family, my immediate family. So if you have support from a soul tribe, let me blow. I'm sorry. Let me put you on pause for a minute. I got to blow my nose because I do not want to have a runny nose. Okay, I'm back. Got that taken care of. So anyway, practicing solitude is important because you're not going to feel comfortable being around large gatherings. So very small, quaint, intimate groups of family members, mentors, those who identify with what you're going and growing through. Okay. That's going to help redefine your identity to, being comfortable around people that you can relate to soulfully and energetically. Being around too much noise and too much social influence can slow down this process because there's so many things that can trigger your emotions, and that nostalgia, recollection, and remembrance of your twin flame can create more triggering moments for you. Practicing solitude helps you to go inward, and that's what you need to do. I think that is the biggest strength or the biggest tool for managing your way through this dark night of the soul. It is it's a process. Okay, so going within, being in solitude and embracing solitude is very instrumental. Not everyone is going to understand what you're going through, but your soul knows because it's been here infinitely with you. So let your soul guide you to what's truly meaningful for you and what techniques you need to embrace, and what spiritual techniques, mainly what guidance, a spiritual family you need to embrace. Okay, you're here for this experience, and don't forget it. Be patient and trust the process. No one can tell you. Everybody's got an opinion. It's kind of like an asshole. Everybody's got one, but no one can tell you how long it takes for you to go through this, or how much time you need to spend in this cycle of your life. And no one can tell you when it's going to end. Just like no one tells you how long you should be grieving. The pain is always there. Just like the pain of losing someone you love is always there. Sometimes it doesn't come up as much, but you still remember that loss. And so just, think about the process that you're going through. Trust it, be patient. Your soul knows. This physical body, and sometimes the physical mind doesn't always know, but the soul is coming into alignment with the mind, the body. And your soul knows exactly what it needs to do in order to heal, okay? And keep in mind that it is not a linear process. It's not a linear process. you don't go step by step by step. You may go into some cycles where you're circling back and you're trying to take this person back before they're completely healed. They're going to say these good things to you to make you think that they're ready for you, and they're not. And they're going to create opportunities and manipulate energies and use practitioners or dark magic, or they may just use charisma, sex, or whatever it is, whatever vice they think they can use to get you back before it's time. Okay? It's only when you reach the end of the tunnel that you suddenly you see the light, and you understand what this was for. You have a better perception, you have a healthier ego. It dies if you just become very transformed and enlightened in this process. I'm about to spray some of my smudge spray, and I put the link to this on the community tab. Okay, it is amazing. Somebody told me, well, why don't you put your Amazon affiliate link? And I did do it. I put my affiliate link. I love this stuff. They have Palo Santo. They have white sage. It smells good. I put it all over my little work area, all over my person. I've got one in my car. I love this stuff. And it does have this fresh scent. It makes you feel good. And it just kind of, it does what it's supposed to do. But it's got a really nice fragrant scent, and I love the fact that it has the crystals here. All right, gracefully emerge from the dark night of the soul. You don't have to, kick the doors down and like, I'm coming out. Take your time getting back into social connections. You're going to have to make some adjustments because the butterfly, once it emerges from its cocoon or whatever, it has a new purpose in life. It can't live and act like a caterpillar anymore. You can't caterpillar anymore once you become a butterfly. You got to do a butterfly thing. You got to do butterfly things, right? And that's I've got a butterfly on my shoulder, on my left shoulder, but yeah, butterflies don't do caterpillar things. A caterpillar don't do butterfly things, So you've got to embrace this new aspect and version of yourself, You will become greater. You may discover talents or harness talents and skills and spiritual gifts that you didn't focus so much on before. All right, you are going to totally evolve with a new set of skills, a new sense of purpose, all of that. And that's what awaits you. For those of you who are wondering, what is on the end of this? What is on the outside of this? What lies beyond this? The goal is for you to get beyond it, not to stay in the dark night of the soul. You'll get there. You'll get there strategically. Everything is in divine timing, even you experiencing the dark night of the soul, okay? People around you might not understand you anymore. So this is one thing that you need to accept and even expect, because your enlightenment will be frightening, to say the least, for those who just don't understand enlightenment or understand transformation. And in some cases, it might be a little bit stressful or scary for you. It shouldn't be, because you should be embracing this newer aspect of yourself each and every milestone, right? So with that being said, let me make sure I didn't skip anything here. Yeah, I think I covered just about everything I needed to cover with that. I wanted to share my experience a bit more because you were so candid, and so amazingly supportive. For those of you who shared your experience in writing, we will, do groups later on where it's just a specific number of us that are going to work on special techniques that eventually we'll be able to roll out to the mass in ways that we can heal or expedite the healing process or support those who are going through the healing process. Some of us have absolutely no one that will understand this, and it's basically saying, get over it, you'll be fine, move on. Yeah, yes and no, but it is not quite that simple if it's a twin flame. I hope this was helpful for you. For those persons and energies that I'm picking up that's a member of the tribe, know that you are loved. Know that you are favored, you are abundant, and you are strong enough to endure this. I support you, and I wish you nothing but love, light, peace, and abundance and prosperity. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for all of my subscribers and my new subbies. You are growing from July 3rd through the 31st. I think we gained about 650 subscribers. So welcome to the tribe, my newbies, my returning OGs. Oh, thank you for all of your support, words of encouragement to me and to one another. It's all love. I read it all. I love it all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. If you are interested in the sage spray as well as my fun little witch's date book, whatever you want to call it, tarot readers, whatever. It's got some really cool stuff in here, recipes and different things, and there's a calendar too. It's so well illustrated, and the calendar, the artwork on the calendar is beautiful. So check that out on my post, and you can see how to use my Amazon affiliate link so that you can purchase it from Amazon. So that's all I have for you for this particular segment on the Dark Night of the Soul. I hope it's been a blessing for some of you and been comforting. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.